A very good evening to you. My name is Carol Commander. Welcome to Try Time, where we talk about nothing but rugby. Now, before I introduce my guests, I want to remind you that you can follow in on the conversation via our social media handles. That is at Bamba Sport. Of course, the hashtag to use is TryTimeKE. And there is a YouTube link for anyone who might want to share out the show. So please do that at your own free will. My people's resident furniture.
What's up? How you doing, Carol?
I'm good, I'm
How's
good.
the weekend?
It
Your
was all right.
weekend?
Nilivurutwa kidogo arefiwe.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Anajua, he knows why, but it's okay.
I was at home.
He's here.
I was in my shags. Mom cooking some kienyeji. I was least bothered about what was happening at the RFU.
And you didn't bring any of this kienyeji, whatever you were cooking?
I'm not sure what bag I've carried, so
Ah,
be patient.
okay. Sawa. Your weekend was good, Labin?
My weekend was awesome. Got rained on a bit, but it was...
Umerefuka kidogo. You know, they say when you... I'm not saying you're short, but...
Carol, you should be the one to speak.
She wants people to join her.
Yeah, it's very ironic you're the one who's speaking about height.
Okay, sawa.
Let's get it on.
All right. So we'll start with the Enterprise Cup final that was that we had this past weekend. Cabras beating Impala, and this weekend saw Cabras bag 2 trophies.
Yes.
So this is good. This is good, especially after the Kenya Cup weekend.
Very good
Yes.
for Cabras. Everything they put into the season, the investment they put into the team. That was a good performance for them.
Yes.
I think they have something to lean on in terms of the 2018-2019 season.
Yeah.
Yes.
This game was very important for Cabras because obviously the weekend before last, they lost out on the Kenya Cup. Actually, I was having a conversation with some of the technical guys, and they were saying after the loss to KCB, they had a very tough meeting with the sponsor, and the sponsor was talking tough because after such an investment, they expected a bit them to clinch the Kenya Cup.
Yes.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it was a good game against Impala. All credit to them for having won this game.
Yeah.
But if looking at this game, I think this scoreline, if I was to allocate blame to anyone, I blame KCB. And this is the reason why I blame KCB. Because KCB allowed themselves to be beaten by...
Why are you bringing KCB into this?
KCB allowed themselves
Easier to explain.
KCB allowed themselves to be beaten by a less than ready Impala side, a less than prepared Impala side, which could not match up on the day. And it's rather unfortunate that we braved the rain, only to witness a side that did not come to win this game. Because if you look at it from the start,
Yeah.
Impala, they could not. I mean, their handling went out the window. They had good possession. They had good try scoring opportunities, but silly knock-ons lost them that opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Quinton Ongo dashing, almost scoring center post, but then he held the ball as if he just bought eggs from the kiosk, and he was tackled and he spilled the ball.
Yeah.
That was a trial scoring opportunity, and I believe if they would have scored first, it would have been a different story. Look at that! Look at that instance.
Yeah.
They're on the attack. On the attack, someone holds the ball, weak ball carrying. It's an intercept.
Snatched.
Yeah, snatched. It's a try on the other side.
Yeah.
So I think for me it was less than impressive from Impala. But the reason why I say I blame KCB, because trust me, if KCB was in the final, it would have been a much
This
bigger
would
crowd.
have been
Despite the
a
rain,
very different game.
and it would have given Cabras an opportunity to get over that KCB hood. I don't know. I suspect the scoreline would be much different.
I think Impala were just happy to be in the final.
Yeah.
I don't think there was
But they were in the final last season.
not given the circumstances. Just beating KCB at the semi-finals was an achievement enough for them, and I don't think they were ready to play in the finals at all. Yeah.
Now let's talk about Wokorach.
Oh, Wokorach, a footballer by
Because-
excellence.
yeah.
He's I like Wokorach because other than his spiritual strength, he is very humble
Yeah.
and he's a very skilled player. One thing about Okorach is that he's learned also how to play with the team. In fact, the reason why it's become more devastating is because people expect him to play with the team. You know, before, I think seeing him last season, he was more a one-man show.
Yeah.
He took the football and held on to it when he didn't have to.
Yeah.
This season, the reason why it's been dangerous is that he's been able to play with his men, and therefore the defenders don't know.
He's more of a team player now.
Yes, he's much more of a team player.
Yeah.
And that definitely has shown in the result and end of season. The scores he's put in, and the way he's just playing really gallant football. And I think he's been exceptional this season. Yeah, I think congratulations to him for clinching that man of the tournament and of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also impressive the way he's able to switch from the number 10 to number 15 position quite easily and comfortably. That gives a coach more options to tinker with the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Because remember, going into this game, they were missing the services of Felix Ayange, who was away in Russia. So he managed to put Keegan in at number 10, take Yone Kubu to the wing, and play Okorach at 15. I was surprised to actually see Nick Baraza playing in this particular game. Seeing that
After the concussion last week.
after the concussion last week, I actually had a chat with some part of their staff. And you know, normally there's a concussion protocol that you have to follow. It's minimum 2 weeks.
Yes.
But then when I questioned, because I didn't expect to see him play, not in the final. But I was told that all the systems they put, he passed the test. So you know, I gave them the benefit. I gave them the benefit of doubt. But if you look at how
already there was a circular that was put across that you can't do head injury assessments in Kenya.
Yes.
So the mandatory 2 weeks ought to have been followed.
Yes.
Because I think it's pretty dangerous getting a player into the field
Yeah.
after the concussion the previous weekend. Yeah.
And you see, for me, I feel that even if Baraza would have been out of this team, this is a game they can
They definitely would have
They'll
won.
win because they have a good
There was
player.
there was no
nothing
danger.
much at risk.
And
You know,
for them to put him at risk as a player. And now we get to the point where what is more important for them? Is it the winning of the cup or the health of the player?
Yeah.
And for me, it is very careless to play a player who's had a concussion the previous week. It doesn't matter how slight it was, provided he was taken out of the field for a concussion, he ought to have stayed out.
dangerous.
Yes, it's very
the
dangerous.
other thing I'd like to say about Cabras is I think, you know, when we sit here and talk about their play, I think it's what we see and it's what we look at and we analyze the game. It's nothing personal. It's not an attack.
Yeah.
And you know, I actually had a conversation with one of their fans. I had like almost 20 minutes in the pitch. And you know, when he said, "Oh, you guys you're harsh on Cabras," I posed to him one question. I told him, "You guys, you have the closest to a professional side we have in the country. You have all the players at your disposal, both locally and internationally. Explain to me why you cannot beat KCB." The way to shut me up is to beat KCB. I have nothing to say but praises for you.
Yeah, like the one last weekend. There's nothing else.
There's nothing else
other
you can
than
say
them
about
winning.
it. Yeah.
You know, it's almost hypocritical to ask us to say nice things when you've lost. Yeah, so
Oh no, they were asking for your head.
I'll be very polite and tell them it's like trying to race with your father. Yeah, I've had experience.
Yeah.
The only winning, is it the first, second Enterprise Cup? I've done this so many times. It doesn't faze me about what they think. Yeah.
One last thing is kindly. I know the chairman Jalango is very passionate.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jalango, if you've entrusted your coaching staff to do the job, just let them do their job.
Yeah.
There's no need of being like Big Brother, walking behind your coach and whispering in his ear every single thing that you think he should do.
Yes.
I mean, this is just me because I was.
It is a case of thinking you know too much. It's a case of believing in yourself for what you don't know.
You've entrusted the coaching role to your coaches.
Let them do
Let them do the job.
They have a very good coach. They have a strength and conditioning coach. They have an assistant coach, a team doctor. Just let them do their job.
Yeah.
You in your gumboots and your rain jacket, shouting in the coach's ear every single time.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Just
let him do his job. That's my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they do different things differently in
Yeah.
Kakamega, but yeah, that's it.
Whew, so much
But
fire.
also congratulations for them on winning the Mwamba Cup.
Yes, that was a
Yes.
good one. The Mwamba Cup as
2
well.
trophies out of
Yes.
4
Out of 4
this
yes.
season.
Yeah, so
Not so bad.
Yeah, it isn't.
hopefully it gives them a motivation to go for the big one
50%
next
of the trophies on offer.
year. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's commendable.
All right, so now let's move on to the sevens. Remember, this weekend is going to be the end of this season's World Seven Series.
Yes.
But let's talk about what happened in London first.
In
Now,
London,
Fiji.
the Fiji game.
Fiji game, because there was so much spirit
that was a cracker of a
in
game.
that game.
It is so unfortunate that we didn't deliver quarterfinals slot for this tournament. But I think the boys came out to play.
Yeah.
The entire season, I've not seen such spirited play.
Yeah.
And you can tell the boys want to play and they want to bring glory to the country. And that's why for me, I never would condemn them for the performance in London. After Fiji, they put in a very spirited fight against Samoa and won the game.
That was good.
And they played superbly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to France, there was a slip up here and there, and we lost the game.
Yeah.
But generally, they played quite well. Unfortunately, on the day two, the Scotland win that were meant to have delivered slipped away, and most painful was the Japan one, because beating Japan at this point would have made us a lot safer.
Yeah.
No, not a lot safer, but just a little bit safer. Yeah, so as we don't have to now go into the last one wanting with a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Because that also doesn't help.
Yeah, the whole pressure.
Yeah, and I'd like to address Kenyans, particularly those that watch the sport. Please, let these boys play, because they can play well. Encourage them.
Yeah.
This is a sport we all love. It's a sport that has brought a lot of pride. Don't bash the boys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's one thing airing your disappointment. It's another. Not looking at the performance they gave in London and thinking that was a worthy performance.
Yeah.
So for me, I just like to encourage the boys. I think we're just that one step away. And again, we flourish when things are tight. So I believe highly that we are able to keep that to keep our status in the 7th series.
Okay.
Looking at it tactically, if you look at the game against Fiji, I think the yellow card cost us when Brian Wandera was sent out.
Yes.
Because we had a good chance to put one over Fiji. I mean, Benji is a coach and he knows that first game is the game where before anyone warms up, before people get into their rhythm, that's the game to get a big scalp. Now against Samoa, that was a gutsy performance.
Yes.
The game against France, let me just say this. One thing that I feel we've improved on in our play during the season is kickoff retrieval.
Yeah.
Because we've broadened our arsenal implementing the pod lifting on the kickoffs. So we are retaining our kickoffs better.
Yeah.
But one thing that I feel we can still do better, and the thing that I believe lost us the game against France is our defense on the wing, the cover defense on the wing. Because you see, Samoa is a physical side. They choose to run straight.
Yeah.
And rarely would you score against Kenya by running over them. What France were doing, they were taking the ball to the wing. They were not engaging us directly on the wing.
Yeah.
You find the winger steps 1, he steps 2,
So that
sacks in about 3, sacks in about 3, 4 guys, then plays the ball the other way. So that second cover defense is very, very important. Because if you look at all the games that we lost, the game against France, they play the same way.
Yeah.
Game against Scotland, they play the same way. These are teams who string very many passes.
Yeah.
They don't hit you on one end. They play the ball, recycle it at the end, play it the other side. Now the game against Japan is the same thing because they have good hands, they have good handling. So once you're able to defend very well at the wing, that's when you can attack the ruck.
Yeah.
But if you're not being engaged and they're pulling you, you find the catch-up defender when you're running against the line. Then you put your forwards into play. Then we are in a world of bother.
Yeah.
So going into the next tournament, that's one thing that I think they can really work on, because once you stop that ball movement, then you have a chance.
Yeah.
But once it's being tossed and turned,
it gets a bit difficult.
and you get tired as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think at the wing we're biting too early.
Yes, too early.
The ball is being run down the center,
Yeah.
or they take it from the wing, bring it to the center, and the winger, instead of just believing in his center, wants to come in and help him in the tackle.
Yes.
What that does is once he's pulled out, somebody just loops round and they've got the space on the outside. So belief in what each individual can do in their positions will help us a lot more.
But just one thing, just one more thing. The inclusion of, I think, Andrew Amonde in the team. If you look at the game, I think the 2 tries we scored against France.
Yeah.
Those were kickoffs. Andrew just ripped the ball. because of the strength he has, the strength and experience he has.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we got two injuries, two
Yes.
crucial injuries when Dan Sikuta and Dan Tabu,
Yes.
Daniel Tabu got out in the Fiji game. Now, unfortunately it's a manifestation of less. I mean, we didn't have the ideal preseason, and you find this is when most people pick up the injuries. The last two tournaments, that's when you're worn out completely, and it doesn't help the fact that Sikuta just come to play from a Kenya Cup final, which is the 15th competition.
And even Tabu played for his club.
Yes.
The last game.
And you're brought straight, after playing 80 minutes against KCB, you're brought straight into a starting lineup against Fiji. So, I mean, it caught up eventually. So it's rather unfortunate that we lost those two, because Sikuta is experienced and is very good
Big pillar.
The aerial ball, and you see what Tabu has been able to do so far.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think we can improve on is, I know the performance tracker says that Jeff Oluoch has the most ball carries for Kenya.
Yeah, it does.
He needs people to throw the
actually
ball.
does.
But I think this ball carrying can be
progress.
It can be beneficial for the team, because I think it hurts you more if you carry the ball against three people. You spend so much energy to get that gain line, as opposed to play out the ball, then the next time when they expect you to play out the ball, carry it. Because you find he was taking on too much.
Yes.
I think also it doesn't have people running off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Because if he did that, he'd have flooded half the balls that he had.
Yes.
I think those ones are clear tries. Mainly because the people he's playing with they've not trained together for a long time. And like Lavin says, the off season is where these things are learned.
And it's very important.
It's extremely important, yes. So with Jeff's performance tracker being that high, there should be something to show for it.
Yes.
Yeah, right now he's just carrying the ball, and it's probably ending up in a rack or not delivered, or even if it is, it isn't good enough to score as tries. Yeah.
A few thoughts on Bush Mwale. Most points.
Bush.
Bush is.
I personally, I love Bush Mwale. He's a free spirit. He just plays rugby the way he knows it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've played with Bush. I've played against Bush. I've seen him coming into the team. Bush Mwale is Bush Mwale. When you give him the opportunity, he'll always give you 100%.
Yeah.
Up until he can run no more.
Yes.
And you saw he's scoring 2 tries against France. I mean, for him, he sees the gap and he goes for it.
That's his job.
There's not too much theory when it comes to Bush Mwale. Just give him the ball, he'll get you those yards.
Yeah.
The goodness with Bush is he will follow instruction until that point when he sees the white line. Then instructions are out.
Yes.
And he gives this is the kind of player who gives you 100%. Other than the younger guys who come into the team, this is the kind of player who will give you 100% every single time he steps onto the field.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now the Challenge Trophy, of course, that was where we wanted to maybe.
Yes. Like I said, Scotland, very disheartening. Only if we beat Scotland, then it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
Then going and struggling against Japan,
and that was
them beating us, and then the guys who we're trying to finish on top of, so as we can retain our status in the HSBC series, was a bit that really broke my heart, because I think we're good enough to be able to beat Japan on any given day.
Yeah.
I think that if you're to look at things that we can commend the boys for, I think all that is negated by the fact that we lost to Japan.
Yes.
Because that's a game. I mean, if all else fails,
that is
let's just beat Japan.
Yes.
Let's say, you know what, we've lost all these games, but whenever it comes to Japan, this is something, because it's much bigger than just that game, because it has an overall bearing on the season and where we end up at the end of the season.
Now let's talk about Paris now.
Yes,
Paris we have Australia, we have South Africa, and we have Wales.
South Africa, a team that would rather die than lose to Kenya. That's for sure. Of course, for the supremacy of Africa as well. Australia are on top of the game. We saw they were finalists last weekend, and they're definitely going to bring their A game on the day. However, this is their first game yet again. This is the scalp to say we're going to claim this one and one other, and we make it to the quarterfinals. Like we said before, all we need to do in this one tournament is get to the quarterfinals, and then once that is done, we're cool. South Africa, that's a difficult one. Wales is one of those that you expect the boys will play out of their skins and win. Yeah.
Looking at these 3 teams, how they normally play. For Australia, first of all, they lay great emphasis in the set piece. So meaning, straight from kickoff, they'll want to retrieve that ball. And having spoken about the defensive shape, especially at the wings, and this is something obviously Australia will review our videos, and it's something that they will want to attack.
Yes.
For South Africa, they're very physical. So anytime we take
And
the ball
efficient.
in, very physical and very efficient. Anytime we choose to take the ball in, we have to secure that ball.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at the moment, they've also looked at the performance tracker and they know who are our main ball carriers.
Yes.
They will definitely target Andrew. They will definitely target Jeff.
Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'll see they're not
gun
even
tackle
afraid.
him.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
gun tackle. They're not afraid to put 2 or more bodies
Yeah.
in the racks as long as they retrieve that ball.
Yeah.
What does that mean for us? Means even if it means putting 3 people in the rack, just secure that ball, then play it out.
Yeah, because what they're looking at also is to slow that ball so that it doesn't come out quickly.
Yes.
They know how dangerous we are when you have the ball in hand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
especially South Africa,
they'll definitely
try
want to slow.
we'll try and
us
slow down
yeah.
the ball at the set piece.
Yeah.
Yes. And looking at Wales, Wales will play a similar pattern to Scotland. They play England. They play the same system. They're a
They're only a
team.
lot slower.
Yes, they're slower.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you can see, and I'm hoping they really review their videos, because you can clearly pick on the 3 major areas: their kickoff,
Yeah.
their line out, and how their defensive shape is.
The midfield defense.
Yeah, the midfield
it's
defense and
broken
also
after
the
one,
penalty
yeah.
moves they run.
Yeah.
Because they will take the ball to the wing and recycle it and play it the other side. Now, they're not as efficient as France or as efficient as
Or Scotland,
or
or
Scotland or these
Scotland,
other
yeah.
teams. So definitely, they're a team that if you have the individual matchups, they cannot beat us.
Yeah.
But if they're a team, if you give them too much ball, they will wear you down with the passes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like tiki-taka playing against Barcelona.
Yeah.
So once you get that ball, guard it to your life. But if you don't have it, hunt for it with everything
Hunt.
that you have.
Yeah.
You have to hunt for it with everything that you have. Because remember, Wales, they are third from the bottom. So they're also,
They're also the.
And they're only 5 points adrift from us. 3 points adrift from us, right?
I'm not sure, I think it's 3 or
3
5.
points.
We'll
They're
just have a
they've
look
got
at the
30
table.
points. They've got 30 points. We've got 27. They're 3 points adrift.
So they also
Yeah.
So
want
they
to,
also want to die with us
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. They're-
yeah, 27-30. So
Yes.
it's,
Yeah.
So even for them, this game is very crucial
Yeah.
because what happens is that if we by any chance we get to the quarterfinals, now they have to fight with the Japan down there.
Exactly.
Because then
So
the
it's-
only 5 points are due from Japan. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing is, we are in Pool B. I think Japan are in Pool D. What happens? Knock on wood, if we end up in the Challenge Trophy. Let's finish the group at number 3,
Yes.
so that Japan finishes number 4, and we meet them with
We
the
meet
first
them.
game on day 2,
Day 2.
and send them to the
Send them.
16th playoff.
Yes.
Na tumalizie kazi.
Once tumefanya hivyo,
And you're very confident that.
yeah, but that is
Abo,
you've got to arrange.
Japan
Yeah.
will finish 4th in their pool. Let's finish 3rd so that
Yeah.
we meet them.
We meet them.
First
Yeah.
game on day 2.
Yeah, Charaza them, and then
We put everything in that
you know,
particular
once we beat
game.
Yeah.
Japan on that day too. Once we beat them in that whatever,
yeah.
we can go for something frothy. Yeah.
Something frothy.
Yes. I mean, it's unfortunate
And-
we are at this point, but
Yeah.
you have to really be
The little
tactical
games, yes.
that
Yeah.
we,
The little
we want.
games.
Our essence is let us stay as a core team. If we have to narrow it down to that particular game, those 14 minutes, so be it.
So be it.
all these other things, we'll deal with them when you come back home.
We'll come back home,
Those,
yes.
everything else is just details.
But let's just deal with that
Focus
first.
on that.
Because then now we've got a whole lot of time to rearrange ourselves, get everything back in order.
Yeah.
Right now, our focus and our main focus as a country, as a team, is to stay up there.
Yeah. And of course, we have Herman and Eden Aguero going to
Yes.
replace
Yes.
Sukuta and Tabu.
Yes, Haman will bring in a lot of ball carrying as well.
Yeah.
He's not as experienced as Sekuta would be, but he's more agile.
Yeah.
He will carry the ball. He'll run a little faster than Sekuta would, and he knows how to float the ball. That is super. Eden, we don't even need to talk about.
Yeah.
Eden now
Also
is in the category of Burkina Lavin.
Right.
So
Hey, now you're surely.
As guys of Yala, bwana.
we don't.
Saying.
No, it's true. He's the kind of flyer that once he's in the field, then I rest easy. These games like Japan, he would never lose.
There's also the inclusion of Michael Wanjala,
Yes.
Yes.
who's already in Paris.
In Paris.
Yes.
What he brings is experience because he's played under several coaches and he's played at the very top. So he's seen the best and he's seen the worst.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he will not want to experience the worst.
The worst.
Yeah.
Because I don't think throughout my playing career that we've been in this point
Yeah.
where we are battling
On
Yes.
the last
relegation, on the
tourna-
last
on
tournament.
The last,
Yes.
yes.
I mean,
The
we've
last leg
always
and
we've
we're
always
fighting.
found a way
Away, yes.
to make a quarters here to make to win the. I mean, back in my days it was Bowl Trophy, you know. That's how long ago it was. But the Challenge Trophy.
How old are you? Loving.
Unajua kuna miaka ya kazi. It's like McDonald Mariga. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a story for another day. But I think the inclusion of these new guys, he brings something different to the team. I think
Yeah.
for Humwa, he's a big ball carrier. Definitely Eden and Wanjala are experienced. They see those spaces. But my only prayer to the boys is that cover
Actually,
defense.
this is what I want us to do. I already did my part and sent a message to the boys. You are going to send a message to them, and you are going to do the same.
Assuming that
And
I
we-
haven't done it. Or now we just do it as Bamba.
Here.
Okay.
No, as you. And we're going to record it and we're going to send it to them.
You know I communicate to them quite often.
It's okay. You can do it again now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll send them a message.
Agreed.
Tell them something.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Good. So
I'm very confident that you're going to stay in the series. If we don't, then we'll see what to do. But I'm very, very confident that we've got the arsenal within our group to stay up there.
mentioning Arsenal today is very sensitive. So please be.
I'm
and
not
you
a
find
soccer-
another.
I'm not a soccer fan, so
No. Okay. Love him. Please.
I think for me, just
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate we are where we're the position we're in, but this is where we rise the most. When our backs are against the wall, that's when we rise the most. And I know there's a lot of pressure about what this means for Kenya going forward.
Yeah.
It's just forget about that pressure. You do what you know how to do, and that's play rugby.
Yeah.
You've been equipped with a set of skills, and that's why you have been selected as a team.
you're the best of the country.
You're the
out
best that
there.
the country has to offer. So that's why you've been selected to the team. Take each game as it comes, adjust as you need to, and at the end of the day, just play with a smile on your faces. Because at the end of the day, as long as you do your best, that's what really anyone can ask for. You can't ask for anything more. Just play like Bush Mwale, play and smile.
Yeah, just
Chukua selfie.
and then if you can't dance, it's also fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
It's also okay.
Not
Just play.
everyone can dance.
Yes.
Guys. So.
I mean,
Yes,
it's just
Yeah.
another tournament. Don't let the big occasion overwhelm you.
Okay.
Because you are talented.
Right. Thank you so much, guys. And we're being told to go
Okay.
because people want to go and. Let's talk about that when we're out of here. Other matters in Baku, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching, and thank you for your comments. Unfortunately, I can't read them, all of them, because we're being chased away. But until next week, have yourself a lovely night.